Welcome to the hunting ground, where business gets real. This is Into the Lion's Den, where we build smarter, lead harder, and protect what matters most. With your host, Christian Griffith. Let's get to work.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Into the Lion's Den. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Anastacia Rodriguez.
Hey.
She's our co-host for the day. We're continuing our Starts with Why series, and of course, your regular host. Although some of you guys are getting over hearing my voice, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. Christian Griffith, owner of Pride Roofing Construction. This episode is brought to you proudly by Pride Roofing Construction and Level Creative Studios. He always puts a sound bite in there.
I know, I love it.
That was a pretty good one. Wow.
Where's my
All right. So, as stated in the intro, we are continuing the Starts with Why series. Anastacia has been on a number of videos, but we've never gotten to go more in depth. So, before we get started with the interview and stuff like that, just tell us about you, how long you've been here, what makes you tick, what you do for fun. All that good stuff.
Okay. Well, my name is Anastacia, for those who don't know. I have been with Pride, we're coming up on 4 years in October.
Dang.
I know, right?
You should have a degree.
I know. No, honestly, I love my job.
Yeah.
There's little everyday things that are like, and no matter what job you're at, you're going to have little things that you're just like, meh. But, there's nothing here that really, would make me not like my job.
Right. Well, if there was, then get off the camera. No,
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'm like, can we shut down for a second? Because I have some things to say. No.
So you've been here 4 years, but you've been in the roofing industry much longer than that.
Yeah. Almost. I was doing the math this morning, almost 8 years.
Okay.
Which is funny because I think for the past 2 years I've been saying I've been in roofing for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm actually at the 8-year mark.
You liar.
I know. It was COVID. COVID just screwed up my whole timeline.
There's a weird thing that happens when enough time passes where you kind of just remember the story the way that you're thinking of the story.
Yeah.
I find myself doing that a lot. I'm like, wait, I just told somebody else's story. That wasn't actually me.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, so 8 years in the industry. So what brought you into the industry? What?
Well, so I have a paralegal degree.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I was very excited to be in the world of law,
Mm-hmm.
Not as a criminal, and so I was really excited about it. And then when I graduated and I did my externship working at a company, it was a cool company. They basically, when a bank buys a batch of mortgages, we would do all of the research to find out about HOA liens, any unpaid HOA fees, fines, all of that stuff, all over the nation, which was cool for a minute, but I'm like, okay, I'm not in a law office, I'm not, I wasn't really doing anything. And at that time, this makes me feel old, but at that time, paralegals were making $10 an hour. And I was making more than that doing what I was doing. So I was like, well, I'm not really going to go work for less in a law office, So I never went that way.
So fast forward 8 years.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so then I was actually in real estate for a few years. I did go to real estate college, NOCO Real Estate College, shout out charity. No, but I did that. I was working, not as a realtor, but I was working in a real estate office for a few years, and I got to work with a lot of different companies, bringing them in to do different, lunch and learns and things like that, and I would sit in on all of them, and I was like, man, this stuff's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got an opportunity to work at a roofing company, and it was honestly very spur of the moment. The interview popped up, and I was given an hour's notice, And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And I went in, and I've been in roofing ever since.
Kind of does that to you.
It really does.
I know what mine was. I hit a breaking point with where I was at before, and an opportunistic ex-business partner jumped in, let me dip my toes in a little bit, and that dip my toes in lasted 3 hours, and the next day I was on. So
yeah, see, it really does have a way.
That's cool. All right, so well, you have a daughter, and you've got some cool stories along that. You're a grandma.
I'm
I
a
think I could say
grandma.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she doesn't look it.
I know, thanks.
But is there anything else, just that you want to let the world know about Anastacia?
Well, I'm a mom and a grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of what else there is about me that people should know. I don't know. More will come out. More will come out.
Nobody. I was gonna drop a name on here, but I think you'd be mad about that one. So I want to subliminally implant the name that you don't want anybody to say. So
Okay.
she's Anastacia. Stick to Anastacia. Let's
It's
move on.
fine.
All right. So as stated at the beginning, we're doing the Starts With Why series. So I gave you a small overview of kind of what we're getting at. So we've got the interview to go through. This is gonna be very similar to the other videos that we put out so far. But what we want to know is, what makes you tick? What's your why factor? What's driving you to grow?
I forgot to say, I'm also married. Shout out Gabe. I don't want him to feel forgotten in that.
She loves
Okay.
you, Gabe. She talks about you all the time.
I do, it's
Don't
true.
worry about it.
Okay, my apologies.
But anyways, yes. So we're gonna get to know you a little bit. Like what drives you? What are the things that are like? What's the milestones and what's the ultimate achievement in the world of Anastacia? And then we're going to try to pull that all together and see how being aligned with the organization serves you in that purpose.
Okay.
Right? So I guess let's just jump straight into it. So what I'm going to do is read the first 3 interview questions. You can answer them in sequence. You can answer one of them, or you can do a blended answer to all of them, whatever makes sense. But really what we're trying to do is break through a little bit deeper level of responses. A lot of times, this is a tool in a salesman's, satchel or whatever you want to call it, which is most people are not going to really align themselves with the purchase or buy into the purchase or be excited about whatever's going on until we get to a further, deeper understanding of why this service or this good or this piece is important. So I've given this example a few times on this video, so sorry those of you that are actual religious watchers, they know this story. But when I worked in the gym industry, one of the things that we would have to do is get to a 3rd level before we could ever ask for the sale. This was when I was working on the back end, the personal training sales portion of the business. And we'd have to ask our clients because, sales in personal training is somewhat more difficult than even call it roofing sales, because with roofs, you can look at a roof, you can understand things about it. When it comes to personal goals, health goals, so on and so forth, it's very hypothetical. You have to envision yourself in the future, and you have to be able to create the intestinal fortitude based off of a backing of a true understanding of your why in order to actually show up early, sweat it out, do the hard shit that nobody wants to do, be disciplined, and then get to that point. So you have to really go in with a bang. So we were required to get to a 3rd layer when somebody would give us a response. So what I mean by that is, for instance, if somebody says, they write down on their sheet, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's a goal, but it's a superficial layer of the goal. We would have to ask then, well, why do you want to lose 30 pounds? And the next layer would be something like, I don't feel the same way I used to. I don't have nearly as much energy. I want to keep up with the kids and I can't. I don't fit into the clothes that I used to feel sexy in, or whatever the words are, right? And then we'd have to ask at least one more question towards that, where it's like, why do you not feel the same way that you did before? Or why do you not see yourself the way that you did before? And that's generally when some of the waterworks would actually start coming up, and it would be.
Like I'm starting to get emotional just thinking about that.
And it would be something. The response would be something like, "Well, my husband doesn't look at me the same way," or I see other people look past me instead of looking at me, and then stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a much more firm grounding to the goal, because it's like that makes you feel something, right? You're outside of, you're into a different, I guess, physiological pattern inside of your brain, because it's emotionally tied instead of just being tied to a number or being tied to like, this is just a goal and I'm going to stick to it, because we all know life gets in the way, right? So that's kind of what we're trying to do with these questions, is get a little bit deeper than just, hey, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, well, why do you want to be a millionaire?
Yeah.
What is it that drives you to need to be this millionaire, or whatever that is, right? So,
Okay.
all right. So, first set of questions, and these are all about your role and your impact here at Pride Roofing. So, Anastacia, in your own words, what's the why behind managing accounts receivable in the office? What keeps you passionate every day? Number 2, how do you think your work behind the scenes affects the overall customer experience? And are there any superhero moments that you want to share? Things where you really felt like you were the hero of the situation, right? Number 3, we all know office managers are unsung heroes. What's your secret sauce to keeping everything running smoothly?
Okay. I know I have answers right here, but I feel like those aren't even hitting second layer.
We'll get there. Don't worry about it. I'll ask some more questions.
Okay. Okay, let me think. Honestly, without even like looking at those, I just really enjoy feeling like I'm helping somebody.
Okay.
Like whether it's a customer, a client on the phone, or somebody who's come into the office, or just like my team. Like it really makes me feel good inside to help somebody with something, whether it's like something as simple as taking a payment and closing out the job, knowing that that piece of it is done, people can move on to their next thing. Or things like somebody calls in with an emergency and, oh my God, what are we going to do, and this and that, and being able to guide them through to get the problem solved. Or or when, like, especially when we have new, or even like our seasoned vets, but if somebody's busy and out in the field and they call in and say, hey, I really need to do this, or I really need to get this done, is there any way you could help? Like, yes, yes, I can.
You know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes me feel good.
Okay.
As far as like what I actually do, I'm also, like, corny as this is, proud. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be part of this company, part of the Pride.
Pun definitely intended.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
No, so I do, for lack of a better phrase, take a lot of pride in the office.
You're corny.
I know. I'm really trying not to be. Now I feel like it's stuck in my head.
You're not. I just needed to say it. It's funny.
But no, I do take a lot of pride in the office, and I don't ever want anybody to come in and be like, oh wow, did you see their shit? Like I want it to be like, especially with the remodel we just did, and my new fancy ass desk. Like when people come in and they're like, wow, it's nice. I'm like, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful? Take a look around. Go look.
You take enough pride that you feel the personal response to that. It's like when somebody says your hair looks nice.
Yeah.
Your business, because you're in charge of making sure everything is always where it's supposed to be, so that everybody that needs to do a job can do their job. Right?
Yes.
So, I can see how that gives you a warm glow in that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask some of those additional layers
yes.
of questions. So you mentioned at the beginning, the first thing that your mind jumped to was you really love to help people. Is that something that has always been part of Anastacia your whole life? Is you're kind of like, let me help other people get past stressful things?
Yes, and honestly, almost like to a fault. Little Anastacia backstory here. So when I was younger, like middle school, high school, it was never hard for me to make friends. you know, I when I think back to being in school, I felt like I was friends with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
However, the people that I would kind of cling to the most were like not the people in the best situations, and you know, they didn't make the best choices, or you know, had a hard home life, and I would really cling to them. And my parents sat me down one day and they told me this conversation like will be forever burned in my memory, but they said, we can see that you want to help people, we can see that you have a heart, you know, we can see that. But there comes a point where, and this has nothing to do with work, this is just like a memory that this brought up. They said that sometimes we see that the people that you want to help, you have to see that there's only going to be two different outcomes. You're either going to bring them up to your level, or they're going to bring you down to theirs. And so it was like when they pulled me aside, I was probably 16 maybe. And I was like, oh my God. Like that was eye-opening, because I was like, it had never occurred to me that me trying to help somebody would be a bad thing. Never, ever. Until I started making some of those dumbass choices with them, you know? And
Haven't we all?
yeah. And so that was really eye-opening. And that's when I was like, okay, like if I'm going to help people, because I do love that. And not always like in a, hey, let me help you, but just like being there or being present for somebody, or, you know, whatever the case may be. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be like an intentional, I'm doing this for you. But it's always kind of stuck in the back of my head, like, I want to help you and I want to bring you up. And, you know, and if I'm helping you and you help bring me up too, like, you know.
Even better.
Even better.
Okay. So you're an empath, what it sounds like. So is it when does your empathy, do you feel the same feelings that you're assuming the other people are feeling?
Yeah. I think sometimes.
I think that's what potentially draws you. There's a magnetism to it because you understand well, maybe not perfectly, but you can put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
my wife, Hannah, she's very similar in that sense. So when I ask those questions, you know, I've seen the devastating impact that there is of being too empathetic.
Yeah.
Right? I have all the empathy in the world. I want to be able to help anytime that I can. But when it's taking away from you as a person, because you're giving, at a certain point, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. Right.
You know? So the empathy has driven you into being in a role where you're assisting and you're helping and you're making sure that people are taken care of, and that stress, if you're involved, less stress is on their shoulders. Yeah. I have a story from my childhood that's kind of has driven me into a similar type of position. I get a lot of the warm glow, the feelings of accomplishment and that type of stuff from really being able to help people.
Yeah.
What I noticed was it was a specific moment. I was on this traveling baseball team, but the weakest link on the team, there was a kid on the team he made the team, but primarily only because he was the only guy that played that position at the time.
Yeah.
Long story short, more kids moved into town, and that position became one where he was second up, so he rode the bench a lot. And I remember we were in the last game of the season, and it was like the third or fourth game in a row that he was sitting on the bench, and you could just see how much it was affecting him. He was disappointed, he was sad. His parents were, visibly irritated and whatever.
Yeah.
In the crowd. And so I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, dude, you could take my spot for the day." And I walked over and I told the coach, I was like, the kid's name was Aaron. I was like, Aaron's going to play my position if you're okay with that for the day. And the coach was like, "You really okay with that?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I've been playing every game. It's the last game of the season. This guy should play." And I remember sitting on the bench and I was like, I was bored, twiddling my thumbs. And I was like, "What the hell do I do with myself? This really does suck." But then I realized, I was like, it wasn't taking that much away from me just giving a little bit of myself to somebody else.
Yeah.
But what was even more interesting is seeing just the pep in his step and how excited he was. And he hit, he went 4 for 4 that game, just destroyed the ball. He did great while he was playing. And then his parents were over the moon excited that they got to watch the kid play and stuff like that. And so that really taught me a lesson in my life that I've kind of carried with me for a long time, which is like, I mean, if you can bear the weight of it, why not you do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so there's been a lot of times in my life where if I know that there's stress in somebody's life, I'm like, look, let me take that stress on. I'm strong as shit. I'm good. I'm good. And it's helped me to develop and foster more meaningful relationships with people. I don't necessarily go out and seek it all the time, but if I understand that it's there, I'm one of the first people to sacrifice. It's just something that I've understood basically since that day.
I feel like even just like as an employee here, I've seen that of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Not to kiss ass, but I'm just kidding.
You can keep doing it. It's okay.
no, but like genuinely, I feel like I've definitely seen situations like that come up, and you've gone out of your way to help.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, and it's not for accolades, and that's the thing too. I took a class it was an honors class in college where what we were discussing was, is altruism a real thing? Are you familiar with the term altruism? It's essentially sacrificing yourself with literally nothing in return, either guaranteed or given to you, right? It's like, let me jump on this grenade so that the whole platoon survives. That's altruism, right? There's not really a super positive thing that happens for sacrificing yourself for it. But the discussion was, is there really nothing that comes from altruism? Is there no actual incentive? Is there nothing actually given back to you? And what we all determined after an entire, semester of debating each other, which was altruism's not real. There's always something that you get back. And even if that one thing you get back is the warm glow feeling and the feeling of accomplishment, like their life is better because I was here, that's always there. So there is always an incentive to it. So does the warm glow of helping helping clients, and sometimes it's a stressful situation. I mean, not everybody. This is a funny thing that I talk about in sales situations all the time. It's like nobody even knows what color their roof is until it starts leaking on their head, right? And then all of a sudden they have to start thinking about it. But so not everybody's really ever, seeking us out, and they're not really that truly excited about what's going on. But ultimately, I just totally lost my train of thought.
You were talking about how great I am. No, I'm just kidding.
So what we've learned from the first section so far is that you're a helper by nature. You want to serve people. You're an empathetic, sometimes to a fault. Sometimes you get yourself in situations where you unfortunately have to give more than you even have to give, or it's allowed you to bring yourself down because of it and stuff like that. So you've learned, obviously, you've figured things out. Good stuff. So we've gotten past layer 1 with Anastacia. So next section of questions. All right, so on to the second section of questions. So this one's different than what the other interviews were, so hopefully we can drive the points home that we need to, but this is the fun and pop culture twist section. So question number 1, if you could compare your workday to any TV show or movie, maybe The Office, Parks and Rec, or something totally different, what would it be and why? Number 2, have you ever had a Michael Scott moment Sorry, we probably shouldn't ask this question because you said there's no...
Michael Scott and Leslie Knope, I know. I know.
All right, so question number 1. If you could compare yourself... Did it again. If you could compare your workday to any TV show or movie, maybe The Office, Parks and Rec, or something completely different, what would it be and why? Number 2, which fictional boss or office character do you think embodies the kind of leader you admire or aspire to be?
Okay, so answer to number 1 is totally not on here because I have not officer person.
For shame.
I know.
Just kidding.
I do see a lot of reels. But
it's worth the time. In
Okay.
fact, I've watched both of them probably 3 times all the
Really?
way through. No joke.
no, so comparing the Workday, have you seen The Rookie?
I've watched I watched the pilot episode, and then I never watched it again. But
Oh my
JD
God.
tells me about how amazing it
It
is.
is so good.
Okay.
So good. So sometimes totally feels like The Rookie. So The Rookie is basically, I forgot what his name is.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion. So he starts out as like, he's a middle-aged man. He owned a construction company, moved to California, became a cop.
Okay.
So he basically goes out, and it's like, I mean, he's learning how to be a cop by being put in all of these crazy situations that you hear about and some that you don't hear about, like just some crazy off-the-wall stuff. And sometimes it feels like that. on the Workday.
So 8 years later, you're still a rookie learning the new stuff.
There's always stuff to learn.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, like...
As long as I've done this, there hasn't been a day where something new hasn't popped up.
Yeah, but
Well, even worse than that, a new bill pops up at least every other day or every other day, so that's
Right.
exciting too. But yeah,
No, but it's cool. Like, I mean, on the show, every crazy situation, you know, there's always a lesson in the show. And I definitely feel that. Like, there's, I mean, with construction period, like, you could be doing just one thing every day for 10 years, and then bam, all of a sudden there's something crazy new in that specific industry. You know, and with us, since I think we touch so many different pieces of construction, and since we have so many different people in, you know, different support roles, it's, which also, let me just say, before I came to Pride, I was doing all of those support roles, just me. But now it's super cool because, like, people here really are, like, the professional of their role. You know what I mean? They know it in and out, side to side. Whether they are there or not, they could talk somebody through how to do it over the phone. And they know why. You know, and so sometimes there are definitely times where I'm like, oh my God, yes, I can take care of that. Like, yes, I'll help you. Let me figure this out. And then it's like going to find the solution and get it taken care of. And then it's like, man, that was cool. Like, that was kind of fun.
you have your own Little Einsteins episode every day.
Yeah.
Going on a trip in our favorite rocket show.
Oh my God, yes.
We're gonna find this answer. We're gonna help you today.
Dude, sometimes, especially with like a toddler at home, there are definitely times where I like walk through the office and I'm like, you know, and I'm like walking through like super excited, and I'm like, why am I singing that song? But anyways, but yeah, so there are definitely times where I do still feel, and I'm not even like a rookie. I mean, he's with his lead officer or whatever, you know. So, but the situations and the lessons behind them, I think, are super cool.
Is that a driver for you? Do you like that it's something new every day, or does it scare you?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
All right.
No, both.
It's like watching a horror movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be terrified, but
it's
let's go.
exciting. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't want to be the one to fuck something up.
Yeah.
You know, or I'm sorry, to mess something up.
That's okay. I've dropped quite a few bad words on these
Yeah,
videos.
But at the same time, it's like, holy shit. I mean, shoot.
We're in construction, guys.
Yeah.
Give her.
Forgive me. I've been here for 8 years.
That's what you got to say. You're like, I'm just a pirate.
Right.
It's all right. I'm a pirate. I sail the high seas. You scare me.
But no, it's also that, like, oh my gosh, if I do figure this out, like, everybody's going to be, you know, like, everybody will be proud of me, and I'll be proud of me, and it's something new and exciting, and, you know, it's just one of those, like, make you feel good things.
I've had this debate with myself a number of different times as to whether I like how much the industry ebbs and flows or not.
It
It's
can be
like-
stressful.
It's like I've accepted it. Every day is going to be new. Every day there's going to be a new challenge and something that we can learn from. There'll be a new failure soon and a new learning lesson from that can be embedded into the team to make us better and all that good stuff. But then on the other side, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish it would just be
Can't we
consistent.
just have
Just one day.
Right.
You know?
Just need a break.
Yeah, so, but, okay, so that's part of one of the reasons you like this office is what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
There's something new to learn. You're never at a point where your brain's not being challenged, that
Yeah.
things aren't so complacent that you can still stay hooked in.
Right.
Okay, so what other things do you do in your regular life to kind of drive that same, I guess, love that you have of challenges and so on and so forth? Like, what are things that you're trying to
Well, I have
become?
a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. You know what's weird?
Mhm.
Have you seen those memes where or like the little gifs where it's like somebody running away and it's like somebody asked me about somebody asked what I like to do for fun again,
Mhm.
and they're like running away, and that's how I feel when I get these questions, because honestly, besides like being a mom and like at home, I very much love being in that, like, I'm a mom, I'm the caretaker, this is our family, this is how, like, we're a strong unit. Like, besides that, I mean, I don't go out with the girls or, I don't have that, I don't have necessarily even a want for that.
Sure. Well, but you're grounded in the family growth. Though.
Yeah.
So you want to tackle those daily occurrences of challenges and become better as a team for it. And, as a unit, as you put it.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, so we've learned quite a bit so far about Anastacia. She loves to help. She's empathetic. She likes to be able to de-stress situations, maybe be a little bit of a Tylenol for a headache type of situation. That's great. You like the challenges as they come to you, and you don't want a place where you're working where things become rudimentary and mundane and consistently the same thing. Yeah. So that's exciting. All right. Let's move into a different category. So this one's the client-focused and value-driven section. So question number 1, AR and office management can get technical. How do you keep it approachable and transparent for homeowners who might be nervous about payments or claims? Number 2, what's one piece of advice you'd give to clients to make the insurance and payment process less intimidating? And number 3, how does Pride Roofing's culture support you in being your best, and how does that culture impact our clients?
All right. Well, for homeowners that are nervous or, don't understand their payments, claims, all of that stuff, I think having the knowledge myself and being able to relay that clearly and concisely and, actually know what I'm talking about, I'm able to say things with conviction. Well, this is how you do it. This is the process. That I think definitely helps to put customers at ease. It helps to build trust when I say this is how it's going to happen, this is your next step, and then it actually is the next step, and I think it helps to relieve a lot of that, these shicey roofers, or, they just want this. Well, no, we want, and I think this is something that you say this more than you say, like, oh, we're here to build your roof. We're here to be your professional consultant for you. We are here to guide you through this process or answer your questions, or, it's very much a consultative exchange. And I think that just with the knowledge that I've attained here and, and in my experience in construction, it's helped me to know and understand and be able to provide that information or, the guidance and next steps and all of that to our clients. As far as advice to give, I mean, don't be afraid to call. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Whether it's calling your account manager, calling the main office, reach out if you have a question instead of just, like, thinking that you might have an answer or you might know, you thought it was going to go this way.
I was going to plug that one in on your last answer, which is maybe don't take it at face value when you read something if you don't have the experience to digest that information.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
There's a lot of times people will read. This happens a lot in the set before things can become, something where the office is involved in the subject matter experts, or to become, assistants in this consultative services. Like, they get their insurance paperwork. They won't know anything on it. What they'll know is the check that came along with it is for $3,000. And they know this roof is probably going to cost $20,000. All of a sudden, the brain blows up, and we're terrible people, and everybody's terrible people.
Yeah.
And screw the insurance, screw contractors, screw everybody, screw roofing.
Yep.
Right? It's like, well, actually, if we follow the simple steps and you let us guide you through the paperwork, we're going to tell you, is that the truth, or is there more to this?
Yeah.
Right, so, and I can't say that for certain for every organization. There's probably quite a few of our competitors who probably are not subject matter experts and really can't guide them through it. But for us, certainly, I appreciate what you have stated about the people who have really owned their position around here. If you have a question, we'll get you an answer. If we don't already have it, we'll find it for you.
Yeah.
And that can help.
It definitely does. I mean, I've taken calls where people are like, okay, I have no idea what's happening. I think I might have signed a contract with you, but I don't even know if you're the company that I signed a contract with, and I just need help. And I'm like, okay, give me your information, find them, and and I'm like, okay, what questions can I help you with? And they're like, well, I know that I talked with someone, and honestly, I think a lot of times because of just the fear of unknowing and it being a lot of times it's a first experience for homeowners. And I mean, you can sit with a client for 2 hours and explain every single piece of the insurance claim or insurance paperwork to them. And it's one of those things where it makes sense at the time. And what you're saying is like, oh, okay, yep, I understand. And then the second you walk out, they're like, oh my God, what just happened?
It's like me in accounting. The accountant's explaining to me, I get it. Walk out that door, and I...
Like, don't ask me.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, and so when people do call in and they're like, okay, I just need help, what does this mean? Or because of the system that we have in place and, the communication that we have set, whether it's automations or the expectations that we have from our team with their clients, I feel like it puts a lot of homeowners at ease when they're like, oh, okay, I got this email from them, they did do this. Oh, I got this call from my account manager, he let me know this is what's happening. And so I don't know.
Sure. So part of our why as an organization, which the cameras are off when you and I were talking about this, but I've stated it on these videos 100 different times, which is we're bound and determined to build a long-lasting brand, a long-lasting legacy. And the foundation and understanding we want our community to know as we build that legacy is we are the honest roofer, even though that sounds like a paradox or an oxymoron or something like that. There is a roofing company that you can trust, right? And we want to perfect the service that we provide for people, right? It's not that we've never made a mistake, but every mistake that we make, we own it, and then we utilize that to become better for every project after that.
Yeah.
Right. So when you were talking about the chaos that this can be for somebody, does it make it easier for you to align with the company's vision based off what we know of you being a helper and an empathetic person? Are you fully aligned with the way that we do business, and can you speak more to that?
Yeah. I think kind of what I was just saying, like, or what you were just saying, when we do make a mistake, because we are not perfect, no roofing company is, but we try to be. And so, like, even when there is a mistake that's made, it's not something that we run away from. It's not something that, you know, like, we've all of us in our different positions, it's happened at some point or another. And I don't think that there's been a time where the person who made the mistake is like, oh shit, like I'm gonna push this on somebody else and pretend like it wasn't me. It's like, hey, you know, hey guys, I messed up. Can you guys help me fix it? Let's fix it. And like you said, it has turned into, it always turns into like a lesson, and a lesson for everybody, and it helps us to make everything better. So even when, you know, there's that, like, you have that oh shit moment, and you know, you're like, I fucked up. There's people here to help you, and then just being honest. Like, everybody here has just been honest with each other and with their homeowners. And, you know, like, I mean, I don't think we've ever done anything so horribly great that, you know, it's never been, I don't even know how to say this, but do you understand what I'm saying? We've never done something so horrible, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, we've made a fair amount of mistakes, whether that be, you know, something was missing from a work scope that turned into a project where we didn't complete a piece of it, or something happened with the timeline and it threw off things for them, or whatever. We've made a million errors. I think we're in the wisdom phase of things rather than the trial and error phase of things, which is really nice. But there hasn't ever been a point where we don't just address the problem, right? We go in head on, however uncomfortable it may be. And I've had to kind of force the uncomfortability with somebody who doesn't necessarily want to do it. But when they do, they feel how relieving it is that people understand that all they really wanted to know was the truth, right? They didn't want you to blow smoke. They didn't want you to try to sidestep it. They didn't want you to try to find a way around it or anything like that. What they wanted to know is that you know that we created a problem, and they want to know, what are you going to do with that? And every single time we've showed up to the plate and we've played ball. Yeah. Right? So I understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it, that it's not coming from me, because a lot of times when I'm saying things, you know, people who run a business, or they're a leader, or they're this or they're that, you know, they'll say all of that, but there needs to be proof to concept through the people that are a reflection of them. Yeah. Right? And so it's nice to hear that you feel the same way I do, which is, that's the heart that the company has always had, is let's do this once, let's do this right, let's own up to our stuff, let's be genuine, let's be authentic. Yeah. Period.
Yeah, and honestly, being, you know, I take calls that come into the main line, the line that we have posted on all of our trucks and on all of our ads and everything. And so a lot of times I am the front line for whether it's a call of praise or a complaint. But every time that there has been a problem, there always seems to be a call back saying, hey, thank you guys. Or, you know, hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys took care of it. Or even like, hey, this is what's going on. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to put you on a quick hold. Go find out what we might be able to do, what we're going to do, you know, give me some answers, and then get right back on the phone and say, all right, this is what's going to happen. Hey, you know, thanks for taking care of that so fast. I was expecting a call back next week. And so, yeah, it really does. It shows.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I find myself judging a lot of services that I have to buy.
I do the same
based
thing.
off us.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And I get so frustrated because I know inherently why this is happening, because I've watched it happen in the past. But what I'm irritated about is not just that, you know, the experience happened, it's that they're not far enough along to have embedded new methodologies to fix those problems yet. Yeah. It's like, you should be able to figure this out. We figured it out. Why can't you figure it out?
Right. No, I totally do that all the time. I'm like, this was us.
Man, I wish I could hire myself.
Right? I know. He's always like, babe, do you remember when you were telling me about this? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I know. I was, you know, and it's stuff that, like, we have to pay for. And I'm like, damn it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I get that.
That's cool. So let's do the last set of questions, and then I think we can kind of bring it all back to see if we can figure out Anastasia's what, how, why.
All right.
Plug it all together, and you tell me how you think we've done. So.
Okay.
This section is the reflective and forward-thinking section. So, question number 1, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about balancing detail-oriented work with the human side of things? Number 2, how do you see your why evolving as Pride Roofing grows? Any new challenges or goals on the horizon? So that's a question. Are there any new challenges or goals on the horizon? And number 3, if you had to explain to someone why Pride Roofing is more than just a roofing company, what would you say?
Okay. All right. So balancing detail-oriented work with the human side. Well, honestly, I feel like if we weren't so detail-oriented, if there wasn't, if we weren't, like every conversation that we have, there's a note or a message about it. Every communication that's happened with the homeowner, with insurance, every email, everything is all completely accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was not, and somebody called in and I had no idea what I was talking about, then I would just feel like an asshole liar.
Mm-hmm. So you probably wouldn't have been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
Yeah. So being detail oriented, I mean, I feel like that's a huge part of being able to do what I do and feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we have notes, messages, emails, spreadsheets. I mean, we got it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it all plays a part.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, if we look at this through like just a financial lens, the way we do business is more expensive than the way somebody who's less detail-oriented does business, right? Because
Mhm.
if we're requiring excessive and copious amounts of internal, external communication, requiring these steps to be completed before we start doing these things and actually let the process flow the way that it's supposed to go, it's going to take up a lot more time and resources.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we can all stand firm on the understanding that not only can we help them through the process, but we know exactly where we're going to finish when this is all done.
Mhm.
Right? That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's expensive, but it's cool.
Yes.
So anyways, I'll let you finish up.
All right, so let's see, what was the next one? How do I see my why evolving? Was
Mhm.
that the next one? All right. I mean, that's an easy and a hard question.
Mm-hmm.
I think with our growth,
Mm-hmm.
like as a company in general, like there's going to be no shortage of wanting to help or wanting to be a part of this, or I want to be a part of this at the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And so with it growing, I mean, that it just makes me feel like there's more of us to go around. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Which makes it's exciting. And so I think that just being able to bring new people on and allow other people to see how it is that we do things, and you get people like Dan who have been here for a couple years now, and he hasn't slowed down once.
Mm-hmm.
And like that is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then new people to come in and see that, like
Mhm.
it excites me.
There are a lot of things on the horizon.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe to go further in depth on that, I know that at certain times, maybe more recently than others, at least this is what I understand from conversation you have with crew, your operations, your
Mhm.
guy, right? The guy you report to, is that there are certain times where what you're doing isn't quite as fulfilling as it was when it first started, because we've become kind of the master of those things. So you're searching for new things. So if
Yeah.
we're looking, call it 10 years in the future, you're at year 14 instead of 4,
Mhm.
where do you see yourself? What is it you want to do?
I mean, there are a couple of different ways I could go.
Mhm.
I definitely do feel, and honestly, Crew has been really great with, like, when I've come to him with those things, like, and not that it's like boring. It's just like you said, like I've kind of feel like I've mastered those.
So let's go
tasks.
master some more.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, so he has been very great with helping like find different things to kind of explore different positions in the company. So there are a couple different avenues that I have considered. I do very much. I would like to explore like the supplementing, like the actual creating that. I used to be the one to call. You know, I would submit everything to insurance. I would do all the correspondence, whether email, phone, whatever. And although there were times when we had like 400 jobs at once and it was crazy, I enjoyed that. Like it was almost fun, even when it was more difficult. You know, to get the things that we needed, because it was like, I know I'm gonna get this. I know I'm gonna get it, but challenge me a little, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think the thrill of the chase when it comes to the supplementing side of it excites me. And then also like under John, which is also crazy to me. That's crazy that I'm even saying that right now.
Me and John have gone a few rounds over time.
Yeah. But no, some of the things that I've started to take on are from John's realm, and I also find that stuff exciting.
Sure.
And
so potentially being in kind of a controller position, like a financial controller is what I'm referring to. So making sure that you're, you know, the money in, money out, everything's categorized, and you're kind of controlling the purchasing and oversight that is involved with that to make sure that strategies are effective for not, you know, burning the business to the ground and that kind of stuff. That's really, that's a difficult task. It's but it's rewarding simultaneously. The supplementation side, I understand the chase. It's why I love sales. It's, for me, sales is a sport. It's you know, unfortunately, I'm in kind of a position now where I'm purposefully trying to back myself away from individual sales and have more of a compounded effect with team members and their sales. But at the end of the day, there's nothing better than winning.
right.
You know, it's like I miss that. I miss the repetition. I miss the discipline. I miss the, you know, everything that was involved with all the sports that I've done in my life. And so that's what I've applied to this to sales, because you can always work to become better and better and better and better. There's never a point where you can just say I'm the best in the world. There is technically, I guess, the best salesman in the world somewhere. I know it sure as shit isn't me, so I'm going to keep going. You know? So that's pretty cool.
No, I do think that, okay, sales terrifies me, which is funny because I feel like I'm a people person. But the thought of like door knocking somebody and just being like, hey, that terrifies me.
I'm here to sell you a roof.
So, but it also has that like exciting, like, ooh, but are you going to do it? Do it. And so I kind of live vicariously through all the account managers. So I'm like, oh, hey, did you get that one? I knew you would, you know.
Well, and there's deeper parts to that other than the, I guess the sport. It's like when somebody says yes to the sale, they're saying yes to you. And that makes you feel pretty good, you know. So, yeah, I guess I need some validation every once in a while. You know.
Don't we all?
Okay, so and then to the last question. So, if you had to explain to someone why Pride Roofing is more than just a roofing company, what would you say?
We are more than just a roofing company. I think I've kind of been saying it throughout the entire thing, but because we care, we have. Pride Roofing as a whole has a heart. And also our team is, I mean, we just kind of kick ass, you know, like you're
gonna want to hang out with us.
Exactly. No, but on a serious note, we do have people in the positions that they are like, that they are meant to be in. You know, they do well, and you know there's always a little bit of overlap, and there's never not a moment where somebody is willing to help and to guide and to teach somebody else. And so I feel like just us as a whole, we care about the the clients. We care about the actual work that we do. We want to take pride in it. We want it to, we want it to be something that the homeowners can count on, can depend on. And then also, as a team, we really are here to build each other up.
Love that. Love to hear it. It's what we're always going for, but like you said, sometimes you need the validation.
Yeah,
So,
I got
okay,
you.
so okay, so let's wrap a bow on this one. So we've learned a lot about your why, what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. So if I were to boil this all down, what I understand is the big circle. Anastacia is what? What Anastacia is she's a mom. She's a family leader, a unit strengthener. She's has the same motherly care inside of the office as she does at home, bringing the unit together, making sure people have what they need. You're service-minded and empathetic. You want to help, and you want to put yourself in a position where if you have to sacrifice for the betterment of what's going on, you're going to, because you're strong enough and because it gives you that warm glow. And so as a what, you are operations, you're part of the operations team and the support staff. You do accounts receivable and collections. You also manage the office. You also do just about every piece of glue between all those different steps. How you do it is you've applied your experience, you've mastered every one of those things, you've approached head on all of those different uncomfortable conversations, so now you can have them with ease and with an expert mindset as you deliver the information. Pretty exciting. And why you do it is because you actually care, and because the company actually cares, you care to be here. Seemed like I got that okay?
Yeah.
You're like, that was good.
I know, that makes me
I don't
feel
know if it was actually good, but I think that we boiled it all
feel
down.
good.
But no, you're a pivotal part of the team. You're part of the personality. Things would not be the same as if you weren't here. And so I appreciate the hell out of you, first and
Thank you.
foremost.
Aw.
You know,
It really
I don't know
makes me
why I do that, but I'll say certain things, and I know it's going to tip me off and make me get a little leaky, and I did it anyways. But
It's okay, it made me feel that way too.
yeah, there we go. Let's cry together. We'll hug
Okay.
later. All that good stuff. But anyways, it's the team. The way the mottos around here. One of them, we've got many of sayings and foundational principles and whatever. But the first one that we shout after every meeting is the pride before the lion, and you embody that, right? It's the pride is before the lion. The team is before self. If we all focus on helping each other and sacrificing ourselves for the betterment of the team, the whole team survives. The whole team strives, and you've gotten to feel the benefit of that. And you're clearly aligned with that. So, pretty cool stuff.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I love it.
Yeah.
I love being here.
Yeah, it's fun. I never thought I'd be in roofing, and I know for certain that nobody woke up one day and was like, I want to work for Pride Roofing and Construction. But hey, we're all here, and we're making the best of it, and I think we're doing a good job.
I agree. I could not agree more.
So, do you have anything else you'd like to add in?
I don't think so. I feel like you've made me feel great. So.
Well, everybody, please comment below. Tell Anastacia how good her bangs look. This is a new look as of, 2-3 weeks ago? 2 weeks
Something
ago?
like that, yeah.
And I don't think you've stopped hearing how good it looks, so make sure you keep that up. We need that. And then if you have any questions, concerns, you want to give a shout out to Anastacia. If she has worked on your account and you have nice things to say, put it on the video. But also, we would always love to see 5-star reviews on Google, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, all of those places. She does benefit from that. I can't pay you, but I can pay her, and that's totally legal. So put her name in it. That's exciting. But that'll be it for today's Starts With Why conversation. Thank you for being a guest today, and you're welcome back anytime you want to. So
Thank you.
you like
I had a
this
great time.
hot, steamy room with bright lights that
I know.
makes you feel a little uncomfortable? Let's go.
Woo, I'm in.
All right. So, as always, please like and subscribe, engage in the content, ask us questions. We'd love to tailor fit the next episode to you. But for now, we are out. Peace.
Alright.
Oh, shit. Did it again. Well, that was good.
That was
Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Into the Lion's Den.
We appreciate your time, and we hope that you've gathered enough ammunition to go out, fight the good fight, and become a better person every single day. Please like and subscribe, engage in our content, ask us some questions. We'd love to tailor fit the next episode to you.